North of even the Stark's domain is the Land of Always Winter, sealed off abruptly from the Seven Kingdoms by a giant wall of ice. Now, most of the land beyond the wall hasn't even been explored yet, so we don't really even know how big it is. As for what has been charted, there's the haunted forest that stretches a few hundred kilometers out from the wall, with a strip of mountains just to the west of it called the Fangs, and beyond them is a place called the Frozen Shore. And after that, all we know is that it gets even colder. Even in the areas that are mapped, there's barely anything in the way of established man-made structures. But there are a few points of interest, though. The Fist of the First Men is just a giant rock formation, but with good vantage points. It's used as sort of an away station for the Night's Watch's ranging parties. Craster's Keep, which is a small home lived in by Craster and his wives and daughters. And when I say wives and daughters, I mean wives and daughters, like they're literally one and the same. Then, to the far north, that houses the wildling tribe of the same name, and curiously a ruined wildling town called Hardhome. Looking at the wall itself, it was built 8,000 years ago by Brandon the Builder. While originally it was said to be less than half the height it is now, the men of the Night's Watch have built on it over the years, making it now stand at an astounding 700 feet. Or 87.5 Gregor Cleganes, if you aren't into imperial measurements. The wall itself is looking bigger and better than ever, but I unfortunately can't say the same for the Night's Watch garrisons. Membership numbers over the years have really tanked, and with not enough men to man them. Westwatch by the Bridge, Sentinel Stand, Greyguard, Stone Door, Hoarfrost Hill, Icemark the Night Fort, Deep Lake, the Queen's Gate, Oakenshield, Woodswatch by the Pool, Sable Hall, Rhymegate, Longbarrow, Torches, and Greenguard have all been abandoned, leaving only the Shadow Tower in the west, Eastwatch by the Sea in the east, and Castle Black at about the middle point as the man garrisons left. I'll go more in depth about the Night's Watch next time, but until then, let's focus on a group living beyond the wall. While most call them wildlings, amongst themselves they're the free folk. A lot like Northerners in their mutual First Men heritage and religion of the old gods, but that's about where the similarities end. Since Beyond the Wall isn't under the reign of the Iron Throne, they're without any structured government. For instance, there is no laws about property. If you want something and can take it, then it's yours for as long as you can defend it. Now, there's many free folk clans, ranging from primitive cave dwellers to hardworking hunters and fishermen, but they're all way behind compared to the technology in the rest of Westeros. They make their weapons and tools out of wood, stone, and occasionally bronze. In order to get something a little bit more substantial, the wildlings perform raids by either rowing across the Bay of Seals or making the dangerous climb over the wall. However, since they wouldn't stand much of a chance against the northern forces, they tend to attack small towns or even just peasant homes, grabbing what they can and then getting out of dodge back over the wall before the Night's Watch or even a house like the Umbers can catch up to them. But when you're physically isolated in a frozen waste, your options are pretty slim. Many of the wildlings feel that their lot in life is unfair, since their forefathers just happened to be on the wrong side of the wall when it went up. But you'd also be hard-pressed to find a wildling that isn't appreciative of their freedom from organized society, proud of the fact that, at the end of the day, they're not forced to kneel before a king or a lord. Instead, the wildlings choose their kings, not letting it be decided by some birthright that they have no control over. And if one leader doesn't work, well, let's just say that they get rid of them and find another. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on the Night's Watch next time.